Hello, I'm Mr. Godfrey, or as they might say in France, Monsieur Godfrey. I am your French teacher for the next several months that we're together for French 1, and I will be trying to make learning French as easy and painless as possible for you. People often say that, oh, French is such a hard language to learn. Obviously, I'm a French teacher, so I don't think that's true, but I think you'll also find out that it's not that hard when you do the kinds of things that I'm going to tell you to do for the next few years. We're gonna first work on just making our mouths make sounds that have never been probably coming out of your mouth before, and so you sound French when you're speaking, and having your ear recognize some different sounds. And so in a short amount of time, you're going to be sounding French and recognizing French words and being able to do the accent and stuff like that. And it's not as hard as it seems. Okay, and once you learn some basic building blocks, things fit together really quickly for you. You'll be able to talk and do things that you never would have imagined possible in just a short amount of time. I always tell my students that, by the time you get done with me, if you go through a French 2 with me, you're going to become pretty fluent. You're going to understand most of what's going on in French. In fact, I travel to France with students frequently, almost every summer, and a lot of times the French 4 and French 5 students of other schools team up with my French 2 students from Cambridge, because my kids are comfortable going into a restaurant or a store and asking for what their things, because we do a lot of speaking and understanding so that you can think quickly on your feet in French, where maybe other French teachers prefer to do a lot of grammar or worksheets. I don't like doing a lot of grammar and worksheets. I like talking. So we're going to spend some time talking, and this video system that we are working with here is going to give us the time to be able to talk one-on-one in class, because I'm hoping we can use this to take care of all those time-consuming things about, this is how this works. Well, if you've already watched the video and then you come to class, you know how it works, then we can make sure that you've practiced it and that it works easily for you. And so that's kind of my goal with using these videos. Instead of standing up and lecturing for 5 or 10 minutes every day, let's take care of it with this. And then, so this is your homework basically, and the classwork, which normally in other classes you might have as homework, we'll do together in class. Make sure you got it down pat. So what are we doing in French 1? As you can see the course organizer here, basically we're going to be speaking, listening, reading, and writing in French. French 1, we're talking more about yourself and a little bit of others, and we're going to then go on to learn cultural differences between the United States and French-speaking countries, but in particular France, since that's where the language of French has spread out from, and a lot of basic cultural things from France translate to many other French-speaking countries. You can see these essential questions here. By the time we get to the end of French 1, you will know, how do I ask a question, how do I communicate about my favorite things, and so on. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that right now, but you can see we're going to go through those 9 essential questions, and you'll be able to answer them well by the time we get to final exam time. Those things break down here in these green sort of oval-shaped circles into these general topics. At first we're going to start learning how to get acquainted. How do you say my name is, what's your name, I'm so many years of age, how old are you, and that kind of stuff. Then we're going to learn how to talk about others, where are you from, what do you like, that kind of stuff. Snack time is an important one. That's where you're going to learn how to order food in France. This is why a lot of my students who travel with me get partnered up with students from California or whatever, because they say, oh, you're good at the restaurants because of this topic here. We spend some time learning how to order those kinds of things that you like to eat. We're going to talk about daily activities, peoples, and things. So all these kinds of things we're going to be learning in this class by doing active participation, watching these videos. We're going to pair and group you with people to speak. We're going to listen to French speakers that I have recorded talking about things. You're going to see if you understand what they said. You're going to speak to me and see if I understand what you were saying, and so on. It seems like a daunting thing to learn a new language, but it's really not when you break it down into small little steps, and that's my job. I'm going to break it down so that it's understandable, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you can pick up the French language and how quickly you become very proficient at understanding it, in particular when French is spoken at you. So I'm glad you tuned in, and I'm glad you took French 1, and I think you'll be glad too by the time we get to the end of the year with what you've accomplished. So I appreciate that. Again, I'm Monsieur Godfrey, and welcome to French 1.